and everyone here. My
Good
name is
morning.
Elisa. My name is my name is Elisa. I'm from Rwanda.
Oh,
I
welcome.
am I am a university student in Department of Pharmacy, and I'm proud to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Elisa. Is that the right pronunciation?
Yes, light, Elisa.
Oh, Elisa, welcome. Welcome. All the way from Rwanda. It's nice to have you in
Thank
the
you so
school.
much.
Okay, we are moving in gradually into the event. Any other person wanting to introduce? The floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
I
morning.
am Anoluwatomi Walke, and I'm a graduate of the University of Ibadan. It's nice to be here with every one of us.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Welcome. Anybody else? I don't want to call names. Don't make me call names. So let's willingly introduce ourselves.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm Lillian Makama from Kaduna State, Nigeria. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah,
Awesome. Welcome, welcome, Miss Linda. Is it Linda or Lydia?
it's Lillian. Lillian.
Lillian. Oh my, that's a very beautiful name. Welcome all the way from Kaduna. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for joining this call. It's really nice to have you. Really nice to have you. All right, so I am going to call three people, or let me make it four. So I'll be calling on Muran to introduce himself or herself. Yeah, is himself. Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Um, my name is Nasser Imran. Uh, some people call me Morando, but my name is Nasser Imran. Um,
Muran. Okay.
I based in Abuja. I'm also a computer scientist. I study I'm a web developer and a web designer, and also a graphic designer too. Thank you.
Welcome, Imran. It's nice to have you all the way from Abuja. Welcome and thank you so much for joining this call. Yeah, I'll be calling on the next mail. Mr. Pelumi, can you introduce yourself?
Okay. Good morning. I'm Pelumi Uluwagbemiga. I'm also from Ibadan, and then I'm streaming from Ibadan currently. I'm also a student of the University of Ilorin. So it feels so good. Am I audible, please?
Yes, yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, so that's it.
All right. Thank you for introducing yourself, Pelumi. It's nice to have you. It's really nice to have you. So I'll be calling on Faith now to introduce herself. Faith, the floor is yours. Okay, I think Faith is prepping up to introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Faith
Okay,
Afolabi. I'm a
good morning.
student of the University of Ilorin. I'm joining from Ilorin, Kwara State.
Welcome, Faith. Welcome. It's nice to have you. All right. So I'll be calling on Miss Durojaye to introduce herself. A wonderful smile is really appealing. Can you introduce yourself, Ma?
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good
Good morning.
morning. Good morning.
My name is Salah Jai Glory. I'm a pharmacy student of the University of Ibadan, and I'm joining live from Oyo State. So I'm also a content writer. Thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity to be here this morning. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's nice to have you. It's really nice to have you. Yeah. So, without further ado, I would like to invite the convener of this program, Dr. Buluwatife, to take the welcome remark before we kick in. Dr. Buluwatife, you can take the floor now.
Okay. Good morning once again, everyone. So excited to be here. So happy to be hosting each and every one of you. Okay, you're welcome, Oluwatoyin. We see you. Okay. Apologies for the confusion in the name. My name is Boluwatife Olatoye, not Similuluwa. That's actually my sister's name, and I've been trying to change it for a while. It's not changing. So I'll reiterate my name severally as much as I can. But it's good to be here, good to have you all here. Do I have anyone connecting in once again this year? Do I have anyone? I'll just like a raise of hand. From last year, you were at the summit last year. Okay, I see Glory. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's just quickly take it on. Glory, please, can you just unmute and just give us an highlight of your experience from last year before we start out? I'll try to be sharing my screen as I do that.
Okay. Wow. Last year was actually a lot. I learned a whole lot. I could remember I had so much expectation going for the conference, and trust me, it was so much. Like I really gained so much in that. Before I actually went for the outreach, I had so much doubts in my mind because I had some project I was working on, but I had this fear that I really want this perfection before I start up. But I could remember the female speaker then, and there was this great man also that came around that day. I can't remember his name. I think he's a pastor also. So those words that day really propelled me into starting something, and it has really been so great ever since then. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really grateful to hear those wonderful thoughts and the outcome from the summit. Thank you so much. We had quite a number of people last year, but let me just dive into welcoming you all. You're welcome to the Summer Leadership Summit. Yeah, it's Summer Leadership Summit finally. We've planned for this, we've anticipated, shared the good news all around, and yeah, it's finally here. And we are so excited to have you all on board. It's such an opportunity to be hosting leaders, to host people that have a mind that, yes, I want to make a change in my generation. I'm not just going to be part of the norm, part of the people that see themselves as ordinary, but I am going to drive change. I'm going to make change. I'm going to be intentional about growing myself, becoming that leader that I am made to be. I was born to be a leader, and I am making myself into being a leader, right? So it's so exciting to host people with such mindsets, because I know that no one that has a mindset below that would have my screen, right? Can someone just confirm by um, saying yes?
Yes, your
Okay,
screen
I can
is
see a
on.
thumbs up.
We can see
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. So that's me. My name again, I'm Boluwatife. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm the convener of this summit, and it's posted under the organization I lead. That's Lead Up Initiative. I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of mails from Lead Up Initiative. And yeah, so leading this summit as a body to raise leaders to see that we make change in our nations, our continents, and different aspects of the world as much as we can through our careers, through our giftings, our talents, and the likes. So I'm really passionate about change, passionate about growth, seeing young people change. I work with young people. And yeah, I'm a veterinarian by profession, and it's great to be here today. Great to be hosting you, like I've said earlier. So about SLS, I'll just run through it. Summer Leadership Summit is a summit designed to empower leaders, to raise emerging leaders with a focus of personal leadership, community development, and just jumping into making social impacts, but starting right from personal leadership. And that was one thing we made sure we delved into last year, because you cannot give what you don't have, right? And so today's session also will be covering this theme. It will be going from personal leadership down to making change from yourself and also making change in the society. Yeah, and we're supposed to have a quick game, but I saved that for the end. And yes, so let me quickly talk about the team. The team change maker is someone making a change majorly. And I really want us to delve into this theory that was funded some years back, the broken window theory. It's a theory in criminology, and I'll just like you to take out time to read up on it online, do a little research on it. But it's very interesting because it really speaks to the mindset of making change, of causing change. So the broken window theory is a theory in criminology that states that visible signs of crime and social behavior disorder create an urban created in an urban environment, sorry about that, encourages further crime and disorder. I'm going to explain that. So when you get to a place and you see a little chaos, you see a little chaos can spur up war, it can spur up anything. And that's what the broken window theory states. So if you see an abandoned apartment, it's just been abandoned and there is a broken window right there, right? And it's been left there for a while, no one to tend for it, no one to take care of that facility, no one taking care of the house or anything. You just see that some hoodlum starts residing there because of a broken window. Just a small window can make an apartment that has been abandoned for a long time a residence for hoodlums and the like. And that's how change too is in the positive. When a little change is made, it creates transformation. When a little change is made, it spurs up. It can go as big as you can imagine. And that's why we are so passionate about raising change makers this year. People that will see the little things. Every little thing matter, the little thing in their environments, the little idea that comes to mind, the little responsibility that they take, the little broken windows that you fix in your environment that makes that big change that you think that, oh, it's the government that is meant to fix it, but I myself am a change maker. And I would just like you to go and read on how this theory revolutionized criminology in America when it was funded. Yeah, and I believe that you taking up the lessons from this theory also make you a change maker that you are already. And so after the summit, we also have, because we know that we can't just hear one thing just once and think that, oh yes, I'm up for change. Yeah, it can be a driver, it can be the fuel, but there needs to be constant refueling. So there's SLS mentorship, or where we take our time to do a peer-to-peer mentorship, and explore ourselves in specific areas like career opportunity, finance, and the likes. We had this last year and it was awesome. Trust me. We discussed on our ideas. I know people that have executed the ideas they brought into this year. I myself had a bit of ideas that I wanted to work on, and we shared on it. We spoke on finances and the likes in the mentorship of, and it was a great catalyst for developing ideas. And yeah, I'm already running out of time, but I'll quickly speak on the Lead One, Lead Five project. So this is the new one we are introducing this year. The mentorship hub is open to everyone and anyone. You can, if you're on WhatsApp, you'll see the page, you see the platform, and you can join in. But this is strictly for a number of people who have cogent ideas, who have ideas burning in their hearts, who want to lead a change in their society, right? And there will be a short mentorship period for them, specific on the sustainable development goals and the like. We'll bring in leaders that are actually doing this and they train them. And we also, as we have led them, each one of them, want them to also lead 5 other people. That's why the project is called Lead One, Lead Five, and also execute the idea and the project they have at hand. So more details on this will be coming in soon. But majorly, I'm just welcoming you all. Welcome to Summer Leadership Summit. I trust that this summit will not just be one you are so excited about, but will be one that will impact you, will make you take action, and you will be that change maker that you want to be. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much for that welcome remark. That was so awesome. And the story you said is just unique. Thank you very much for sharing that. We'll definitely do my research on it. And I'm definitely sure America is where she is now because of the change makers that decided to take the step in doing the changes, in making those decisions. And I'm sure we here would definitely make that step too after this event. So now, our first speaker is ready for us, and while she's preparing to take the microphone, I would read her bio so we can know the wonderful things she's done, who she is, and what she does on a daily basis. Yes. So our first speaker is Elizabeth Ijeoma. Elizabeth Ijeoma is a visionary and emerging leader, educated to enhance the human capital of African women, empowering them to reach their full potential and lead from a position of strength. She firmly believes every woman can lead a more effective and productive life when she's empowered in her thoughts. Elizabeth Ijeoma champions a yearly sponsorship project called She Leads, Igniting Strength and Leadership Within. This initiative aims to equip young girls aged 15 to 25 with the tools and knowledge necessary to discover and develop their leadership ability. Over the past 2 years, Elizabeth has sponsored 15 young girls in mentorship programs facilitated by organizations such as Veil Okafor Company and Immerse Coaching Company. She believes every young woman is born with a seed of greatness and she must be taught to see herself in the way God sees her. Wow, that was awesome. So, with a wonderful applause, can we welcome Miss Elizabeth for our session?
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good
I'm so
morning.
excited to be here. Please let me know if you can hear and you can see me clearly.
Yes, we can. You're welcome.
Awesome, thank you very much. Please, may I request that if you are not speaking, you should please mute your mic so that we can have a good experience. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'm super excited to be here with you this morning. And I am truly grateful for the opportunity to have this conversation with you today. But before I proceed, I'd like to say a very big thank you to the convener of this summit, Dr. Boluwatife. I want to say a very big thank you for putting this together and for carrying such a burden for leaders of the African continent and for ensuring that leaders are able to find themselves and to grow into the knowledge that is required of them to walk the path of purpose and the path of destiny. It's my prayers for you this morning that the Lord will satisfy you early. Amen. So I like to lay a foundation for the things that I want to share with you briefly this morning. And the foundations that I'll be laying for you are the things that I've experienced personally around the conversations of living an intentional life and using intentionality as a tool to experience growth and to experience change in your life. And like I said earlier, the things I'll be sharing with you are largely from my personal experience, which is also why I am seated on this call with you today. In the course of our conversation today, you would hear the things that you already know. And if you hear the things that you already know, I want you to start paying attention to them and then possibly take actions if you haven't already. And then if you hear the things that you are not familiar with, I greatly encourage that you keep an open mind so that as you interact with new knowledge, you are able to pick the things that apply to you, and then you're able to discard the ones that do not apply to you, because not everything will actually apply to you. So in January 2021, I was a regular student in one of the Nigerian polytechnics, a regular student who was just about acing her academic work and graduating top of her class. And every extra time that I had at the time was invested in ensuring that this very big goal of mine was achieved. But intentional as I was, I had not fully reckoned that higher would be calling in no distant time for me to extend and expand my intentionality in other aspects of life that had to do with the becoming of other people, a certain kind of intentionality that has destiny value on it and that has legacy value on it. So a few months down the line, an unusual burden started to well up in my heart that took me to the place of prayer. Now, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share my faith on this call, but the intentionality with which I live my life by on a daily basis is attributed to my personal work with God. So please forgive me if I break any rules in the course of this conversation. So a few months down the line, like I said, an unusual burden started to well up in my heart that took me to the place of prayer. And I remember making some very specific prayers across specific areas of my life. I prayed about my friends and the quality of friends that I now want to have around my life. I'm a very reserved person and I'm very careful. So it was unusual for you to see an unserious person in my circle. But then I found myself making those prayers. I prayed about strategic relationships. And then I also prayed about finding my purpose. At the time, I had heard about purpose from a preacher, but I hadn't, like, it was not enough for me to come into the full understanding of the concept of purpose and what was required of me. But I found myself making that prayer about how I really wanted to find my purpose and how I want to know the reason why I have been sent here on earth. And then I remember praying about my mindset and the quality of my thoughts and how I no longer want to be limited in the way that I think and how I no longer want to sabotage myself because of negative thought patterns by virtue of the experiences that I've had in my life previously. So I think I need to give you a bit of a context for you to sort of understand why I had to make that particular prayer about my mindset. So I graduated from high school in 2014, and I spent 7 years at home before life gave me an opportunity to further my education. In these 7 years, I wasn't idle. I was actively writing JAMB almost every single year, and I was passionate. I was sitting for post-UTMEs every single year, and I was passionate. But for reasons I can't even explain to you even now, admission refused to come. And then In these 7 years as well, 97% or 95% of the people that I left high school with had gone to the university, others graduated, some served, some got married, had kids, and some of them even established their own businesses. But here I was, working as a sales girl for different people, trying to save enough money to further my education, yet struggling to get into school. It got so bad that at some point I had to stop attending my set end of the year get together. I was just tired of being the only person in that gathering who was not in school and who had not even gone to school at the time. And then I remember having a conversation with my kid brother in one of those years before I got to school. And then listening to this, because I was born into a very religious background. So I said to my brother, maybe this school thing is not for me. Maybe I was not included on the list of the people that God has enlisted to go to the university. I'm just going to resign myself to fate and take whatever it is life throws at me. Because I don't understand why my sincere and genuine efforts will not yield results, regardless of the fact that I was not really looking at my background and how there was not enough money, but I was actively putting in efforts to see that I further my education, but it won't come. So I'm just going to sit there and just resign myself to faith and take whatever life throws at me. So you see why it was necessary for me to make that particular prayer about my mindset, because from my previous experiences, I've built up some very negative thought pattern that was really affecting my result in life. I also remember praying about my lineage and how I no longer want to be an extension of the negative things that already existed that I was beginning to see traces of in my own life. I made those prayers about my lineage. But here's what I did after I made all of those prayers. I reorganized my life and my appetite to accommodate the answers to the prayers that I had made when they eventually start coming. I remember taking my journal and I wrote down the things that I now want to believe about myself and the direction that I wanted my life to start heading to. Since 2001 up until today, I have been declaring those words, modifying them according to the seasons of life that I am in, and I have witnessed remarkable change and remarkable growth in my life that is almost alien to where I was coming from and where I was in 2021. Do you understand? I have been on that journey of living an intentional life with all of the resources that have been given to me, that have been allocated to me, which is also allocated to every person who is seated on this call today. The resources of your gifts, the resources of your talents, the resources of your strength, the resources of your unfair advantage, and the resources of your ability to learn your way in and out of everything. Personally, I consider the ability to learn as the greatest advantage of humankind, because you can decide to learn your way out of anything today. You can decide to learn your way into anything. I became very intentional about the resources and the content that I allow access into my mind. I also became very selective about the choice of words that I use about myself and other people. And I also became very intentional about the kind of conversation that I involved myself in. I remember taking an audit around specific areas of my life. I looked at what was lacking and I looked at what I needed in order for me to become all those amazing things I was declaring about myself. Because declaring things over your life and taking the responsibility component that is required of you to manifest those things you are declaring is a different conversation altogether. So the conversation around being a person of intentionality and using intentionality as a tool that drives change in your life, in your business, in any area of your life, in the life of other people, and even in the life of society at large, is a conversation that borders around inviting you on a journey to become a certain kind of person. I hope you know that the person who desires a thing is not the same person who executes it and the person who eventually walks in the reality of the things that you have envisioned about yourself. It's a kind of a journey that invites you to become a certain kind of person. So the question I'm asking you today is, what kind of change do you want to experience in your life? What degree of growth do you want to see happen in your personal life, in your education if you're a student, or in your business? What kind of sustainable change do you desire to see manifest, maybe in the life of the people that you are a leader over, or even the life of the people around you and in the society at large? Until you are able to give definitive answers to these questions, living an intentional life will be very far from you, and you will have no business experiencing growth in your life and driving change in the society or whatever it is you want to see change happen. But when you are able to give definitive answers to these questions that borders around certain aspects of your life, then you are ready to start asking further questions that will give you answers. A wise man, Mike Murdoch, says that questions are seeds to answers. So if you do not take a time to yourself and ask yourself very critical questions that are necessary for you to experience change and exemplify yourself as a leader to the people that you are a leader over, then I don't think you are ready to experience change. So when you give definitive answers to the kind of growth that you want to experience in your life, you can then start to ask yourself, what sort of posture do I need to take around life? Do I need to assume the posture of a learner, or do I need to take the posture of just being cynical, believing that anything anybody is saying, they are just motivating us? The things that I'm sharing with you here today are not motivation. These are things that I have been able to use to move my life from point A to point B. If you knew me 2 or 3 years ago and compare the person that I was at the time and the person that I am now, the difference is like night and day. I would not even be seated on this call with you today. So you want to ask yourself, what sort of posture do I need to take around life in order for me to walk in the reality of those amazing things that I have desired about myself, in order for me to walk in the reality of those beautiful things that I've envisioned about myself? You want to ask yourself, I think you want to say to yourself, I need to become a learner in order for me to walk in the reality of those things that I desire to see manifest in my life. You also want to ask yourself, what kind of association do I need to keep? What quality of friends, what quality of relationships do I need to start building in order for me to drive the change that I desire to see? What organizations do I need to partner with? If you are a person who is running an organization, you want to ask yourself, what kind of organization do I need to partner with in order to grow into the expansion that I've envisioned for my organization? These are very critical questions that you must, as of necessity, ask yourself if you want to become a change maker, if you want to live an intentional life and use intentionality as a tool to move yourself from point A to point B. These questions are very critical, or else you will have no business experiencing sustainable change in your life. The leaders we admire across several sectors in the world today are people who have been able to sit with themselves, ask themselves these questions according to the seasons of life that they are, or maybe wherever their business at. And after answering these questions, they have been able to take strategic steps in order to walk in the reality that we all admire today. So if you want to be like those people, or you want to be better than those people, you have to be able to ask yourself, when you interact with people who have results or great leaders in our world today, you will observe, you don't even need to interact with them. Just run a study on their life on Google, and you will see that there are certain qualities, there are certain relationships and association that would always be mentioned that they are in. in order for them to keep maintaining the sustainable growth that we all admire today. So you want to ask yourself, what level of knowledge do I need to start interacting with for every desire that you have and every growth that you desire to experience in your life? There is a requisite level of knowledge that can command that reality or that can command that desire that you have. So you want to ask yourself, what level of knowledge do I need to start interacting with in order to put me in a vantage point that can help me move to the reality of these things that I have desired for myself, for my business, or for somebody who is around me? Do you see? These questions are very important for you to ask. So when you ask, you start to carry out a research that helps you get access to the resources that you need, or gives you a clue that takes you to the resources that you need in order to interact with, for you to walk into the reality of the things that you have desired about yourself. You also want to ask yourself, what sort of community do I need to place myself in to help me foster and nurture the relationships that I can collaborate with at certain point in order for me to actualize these amazing things that I have written about myself, that I have written about my business? When you ask yourself these questions, you now have your eyes on the lookout for the type of communities that is important for you to plug yourself in. One of the advantages that I've come to understand in being in such communities over time is that the truth is, everything I'm saying to you today is not an easy journey. It's going to be very hard, even more difficult than you think. But when you are able to build systems like this by plugging yourself in a community, when you are down, there could be somebody there, or there will always be somebody who is able to give you or remind you of the amazing things that you have written or that you've seen about yourself, so that when you are down, they are going to help lift you. I've been in times where I'm like, who even sent me to become intentional? Why can't you just be like everybody and just take the easy route, the path of least resistance? Like last month was, you know what we say, you've seen premium shaggy. I saw that last month and I was like, this is really difficult. Let me just take care of myself and just be there. But then again, you remember that you have been called to be a leader, not over a few, but over many. And then when you have people around you who are able to help bring you up when you are down, it makes a lot of sense. And that's why you shouldn't take putting yourself in communities as a joke. It's very, very, very important. So you want to start asking yourself, what kind of mindset do I need to start imbibing in order for me to see beyond my current limitation and to see into the possibilities of the future? You can have 1,000,000 goals, 1,000 dreams, and all those great stuff about yourself. But if you do not have the right mindset, you will be wasting your time. I know that with every one of us seated on this call today, we've heard so many things about mindset that it's almost like a cliche, but it's not. It's not a cliche. You can have beautiful things written like a 300-page goal that you want to achieve, or a 300-page vision that you want to work in. If your mindset is not right, I promise you, you will never go anywhere. Amongst the things that are in the toolkit of success, even the things that I had, remember I prayed seriously. If I did not put it upon myself to re-edit my thought patterns, I would just have prayers. And even when the answers to the prayers are coming, my negative mindset would just push it away from me. So it's very important that you start asking yourself, what sort of mindset do I need to imbibe in order for me to see beyond my limitations? Because the truth is, every great thing that you envision about yourself, about your business, about the society, you will not have all of the financial resources, you will not have all of the human resources, and whatever resources that is required for you to work in the possibility of that vision. You will need to be crazy in your thinking in a way so that you can shut your ears to naysayers and people that will ask you, you don't have this, how do you think this can happen? So it is a kind of mindset that you must have if you want to be this person who is a change maker, if you want to be this leader that is a reference and a model to other people that are coming up, you must ask yourself consistently. The journey to developing a winning mindset is not a one-off experience. It is a continuous journey. And you must of necessity be able to ask yourself at every given point, okay, this is what I want to do at this time. What quality of mindset is required for me to walk in the reality of this thing that I've seen about myself, that I've seen about my business, that I've seen about this project that I want to launch, that I've seen about this great change that I want to enact in the society? Because if everybody was thinking the way great people think, everybody would be great. The person who has the result is the person who is willing to do what the other person is not willing to do. I had shared with you that I made prayers at a certain point in my life, but after I finished making those prayers, I took it upon myself to take on the responsibility component that is required of me. You could make prayers, you can have wishes, you can have dreams, and if you do not take on the responsibility components that are required of you, we'll just have mere dreams. And after 5 years, we're still having dreams and having wishes and believing God like we do in this part of the world. Do you see? So these are very important. I want to share an experience that happened after I made those prayers. When I finished making those prayers and I took an audit of the things that was lacking in my life and what was needed, I discovered that I needed to grow my knowledge bank and have an experience with different kind of knowledge from what I'd experienced in the past. A lot of you on this call might know the person called John Obidi. At the time, John Obidi he's still one of the voices that I still listen to today. And he runs a school that a lot of people know as Night School. Now, I was doing my IT at the time, and because it takes data to be on that call every Friday night, and I didn't have money to get data at the time, I was doing my IT, and my sister was generous enough to be giving me transportation fare every day, and I was staying in Lagos at the time. So most of you that are familiar with Lagos will understand what I'm trying to explain now. So when my sister gives me transport every day, and you know in Lagos, there's no place that is close to anywhere. Anywhere you are going is far from where you are. And sometimes it takes like two drops for you to even get to your destination. But here's what I did. Because I had declared great things about my life, I told you that I wrote out the things and where I wanted my life to start going. When I'm going out on a daily basis, I trek half of my journey so that I can save a portion of the transportation to get data by Friday to be on Night School. That was the responsibility component that I had taken upon myself in order for me to pay my due diligence and work in the reality of the great things that I've declared over my life. I did that consistently, and every Friday, as tired as I was, sometimes I trekked while I was going, other times I trekked while I was coming back. And I would be so tired that I would just want to hit the bed and sleep. But because the vision of my future is always before me, it was not very difficult for me to do what was required of me to see what I wanted to experience in my life. So I would be on that call. I'll get data by sacrificing half of my journey and trekking. As a fine girl that I was still trekking because I've seen something that was greater than where I was at the time. I'll be on that call. And I know how many things, in fact, there's no way I can speak about my journey of transformation today that I cannot talk about those sacrifices that I made. If I didn't make that sacrifice, I could have just said, I don't have data, so I will not be on the call. And every knowledge that has been apportioned for me to gain in that class, to move me further, I would have not been able to interact with it. Right? So you must understand that the conversation around living an intentional life and using intentionality as a tool to drive change, experience exponential growth in your life is a visionary conversation, a conversation around visionary thinking. And then what is vision? Vision is simply the person you are deciding to become starting today because of the things you have seen about yourself. So if you've seen that you want to be the next Oprah Winfrey, You want to adjust your life, every area of your life, to start modeling the future of what you have seen. It's not a mental picture of, and all those nice words we say. It's the adjustment you are willing to make in your life today, starting now, because of the great things that you have seen about yourself. When I made those prayers and I had a picture of where I wanted to be in a couple of years, I adjusted my life immediately. And then I started to give in little by little efforts, like Dr. Boluwatipe was saying at the beginning of this call. The little changes that you make in order to work in the reality of the big things that you have seen about yourself. You also want to ask yourself, how do I reorganize my life? You have to reorganize your life in order to accommodate the possibilities that you have seen about yourself. I remember John Obidi told us a story in one of those calls, and he said when he was about getting into prominence, where he has envisioned great things about himself, he sat down and he asked himself, how do I reorganize my life to grow in the knowledge that is required of me to walk in the reality of the things that I've seen? And here's what John did. John Obidi decided to start going to bed by 7 p.m. every day, I think for like 1.5 years or 2 years at a stretch. Every single day, he goes to bed by 7 p.m., wakes up by 3 a.m. every day, and then engage the things that was needed for him to be where he is today. You cannot speak about the personal development industry in Nigeria and not call his name. Is he lucky? He's not lucky. He paid the price. He lost friends at the time, because imagine going to bed by 7 p.m. It's a lot of sacrifice that anybody, you might not go to bed by 7 p.m., but something has to go for what you want. There must be something that you're willing to lay down in order for you to get a different kind of reality. As we speak today, John Obidi does not have a particular place where he lives in the world. He can decide to say, I want to live in Dubai. And in the next 3 years, he's living in Dubai. After 3 years, he can decide, I want to live here. Currently, he lives in Qatar. 2 years ago, he was living in Dubai. A few other months ago, he was living in Rwanda. Did he start from there? No, he was not even born into a family of advantage. Why is all of these things possible? Because he was able to take on the responsibility component that is required for him to walk in the reality of the visions that he has seen about himself. You who is listening to me on this call today, whatever vision that you have seen about your future, about your business, about your organization, you must understand that there is a price. There is a reorganization that must happen with you first. The change must first be seen in your life first before other people can see that, admire it, and draw lessons from there. So these questions are very critical if you want to separate yourself from the crowd and live a meaningful life that helps you to drive growth and create sustainable change in your life, in your business, in whatever area of life that you desire to experience exponential growth and sustainable change. As I start to tie this to a close, I want you to always remember that change makers are people who take absolute responsibilities for problems they have no idea who created. We are all different seated on this call today, and we are from different backgrounds. We have different experiences, and whether we like it or not, where we come from has a huge role to play in the realities and the possibilities that we work on or that we experience in life. Some people come from places where they have soft landing. Others come from places where it's minus zero. So you have to start working from the scratch. Now you can decide to give excuses and like, okay, I don't have advantage, so that's why my life is the way it is. I don't have an advantage, that's why I'm just going to live my life the way I want and blame all the people that gave birth to me. But if you want to be a leader, if you want to reckon yourself as a leader that the world should listen to, you must always, at every given point of your life, take responsibilities for problems you have no idea who created, as long as those problems are on the path hindering you to where you want to walk into. Change makers are people who carry visions that is beyond themselves. Dr. B does not have any explanation to anybody if she doesn't want to have this call today. If she decides she's not going to have this call today, nobody is going to beat her. Nobody is going to question why. But because she carries a specific goal and a specific vision for leaders of the African continent, that is why we're all gathered here today. And that's an example of somebody who is a leader carrying a vision that is beyond herself. You wouldn't want to know how much it's cost her for her to gather everybody to be seated here learning on a platter free. You're not paying anything for it. That's the life of somebody who is a visionary. A visionary is somebody who carries a vision that is beyond his or herself. If it's just about you, I promise you, you don't need a lot of money and you don't need to have many things. You'll be fine. But if you want to identify yourself as a leader, an emerging leader from this continent, Africa, then you must of necessity learn to take responsibilities for problems you have no idea who created. You must learn to, at every season of your life, your business, your education, carry a vision and a burden that is greater than yourself. And this is for you to be able to utilize all of the resources that have been allocated to you. I said in the start of this call that we all have resources allocated to us. Chiefest of it all, I believe, is the ability to learn. Everybody we admire on planet Earth today who is doing great things in life and in destiny, they were not born that way. They learned it. They might have one or two advantages, but they learned what they are doing today that we all admire. So you must take advantage of your ability to learn your way in and out of everything in order for you to express exponential growth and drive sustainable change in the places that has uniquely been designed for you. Now, here's what I want to say as I stop. Until you become very intentional about the way you live your life, until you become intentional about your approach to life on a daily basis, regardless how small it is, you will never know the portion that has been allocated to you in the place of destiny or in the place of purpose. Intentionality is what gives you ticket to the resources that is available on earth. There's a lot of resources on earth. There's a lot of money. Anything you can think about, there's an abundance of it on earth today, but it doesn't answer to everybody. It answers to those who are visionaries, and it answers to those who are intentional about the way that they approach life. Until you become intentional about the way you approach life today, you will never know the portion that has been allocated to you in the place of purpose and in the place of destiny. Thank you very much. I am now open for questions.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Can we give her a round of applause? That was so, so, so awesome. That was just awesome. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let us keep it coming. That was not little at all. No, it was not little. It was as though I was being shifted. I was being shook. Seriously. And I'm sure many of us had that experience. Let's keep it coming. Let's appreciate her. Thank you so, 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 so much for that wonderful session. It was really, really impactful. I really like what you mentioned at the end of your session. Intentionality is your ticket. Is that ticket? Many of us actually dream. There is no one on planet Earth that does not dream. But intentionality is the ticket that moves a person from one space to that space he has envisioned. And that's really awesome. That's really awesome. And yes, I have a question, so I'll be going first. And if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat section so that it will be read out. So, ma'am, my question is, you mentioned during your session that when we are intentional about ourselves, about our dream, about our desire, our vision, and we know the certain steps to take, we know the certain communities to join, the certain relationships to build, how do you think one can do that? Like for someone who is not so I would say not really out there, or someone who is really intentional about making those good connections, but does not want to make the wrong connections, the wrong relationship. How do you think that person can go about it, ma?
Okay. So I'm also going to speak from my experience again. One of the things that I have seen over the years that I've used is most of the time, so I want to build relationships. Now, relationships can be transactional and relationships can just be on a neutral ground. So here's what I did. The very first time when I got exposed into this amazing world of personal development, I had zero value to offer. Like, there was nothing I could meet anybody, and I'm like, okay, this is what I can do for you. So I think the first approach that every person who is not out there, like a lot of us would already know, is for you to become a person of value. You cannot go to the table of greatness empty-handed. There must be something that you want to, there must be something that you have to be able to offer in order to build, if you want to build quality relationship with people. You cannot go about trying to associate with people and have nothing to offer them. There are so many skills today that can help you offer something in return for a relationship. Or I'll give you an example. Dr. B was organizing this event, and I know that there are so many things she would have needed help with. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't have so much to offer and you're not out there and you see this, you can reach out to her. I see that you're trying to organize this, or even after the registration form was out, you could reach out. I see that this is what you're doing. Hey, I'm an extra hand. If you need help with anything, don't hesitate to call me. And you don't have to pay me anything. That's a good strategy to start with, right? So what I would say is, become a person who has something to give. Even if it doesn't always have to be about money, it could be about your service. There's really nobody that doesn't have anything to offer in that sense. You could be able to put a Google Doc document together. You could be able to handle the person's email, anything of value that will relieve the person of stress. If you want to connect to high value people or build strategic relationships, you must be that person who has a heart of love. Because one of the things that I see today is a lot of people are transactional in their relationship. So if they want to connect with a high value person, they are just thinking of what they can get only from that person. So anything they are doing is not from a place of sincerity, is because I want to get something from this person. So I think three things I'll say is, your heart must be filled with love, so that when you try to connect with people, it is from a place of sincerity and you are genuine. Secondly, you could have a skill or anything to offer the person. If you don't have a skill, just make yourself available as an extra hand. Or you can find common grounds for people to associate with people. There is always a common ground. You could share your interest. You could share, if this person is passionate about something and maybe something the person says resonates with you, that could be a common ground for you to connect with somebody. I think that's what I'll say for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Olalade dropped off the call. I think she probably has network issues. But I'm so excited to take it on because I wanted to say thank you for that insightful session. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I'm really sure a lot of people had lessons they learned, and I'd like you to drop your comments also. But as to do that, if you have question, please indicate by raising up your hand. This is the time for Q&A. But so I'm waiting for two things: your comments, your questions. Let's do this. You can also drop your questions in the chat box, right? But before, as we expect questions, okay, we have a raise of hand. Thank you, Olalikon. Any other person? Before I hand over the mic to Anulua, thank you, to these people, I would like to say something, just latch on something you said when you were speaking on intentionality and growth, and how that's a new kind of knowledge, I think that stood out for me. I just had to write it in all caps. You really stood out, and I can remember also going on this journey, and I'm like, what's so like exciting on going on the journey of personal growth? And I realized it's actually something that stretches you. It stretches you, and it made me understand Hooke's law of is it Hooke's law of elasticity in physics. If you all can remember that law, I can't really quote it verbatimly right now, but I know that when an elastic object is extended, it goes from yielding point breaking point. It first of all breaks, then it yields. I think that's the law.
And it gets
But
to a point where it can no longer be extended again. That's the yield point.
sorry, I didn't get that.
I say it gets to a point where it can no longer be extended, and that's the yield point.
Exactly, and that's what happens to our minds when we are intentional, when we start giving ourselves to go. It's just like when you go to the gym, the first few days your body aches a lot, but once you continue, you just see that you are soaring, you're flying, you are staying in relevant places. Yeah. So let's have Olalekun ask his question.
Good morning to everyone in the house. Miss Elizabeth, thank you so much. That was a whole lot. It was a mind blowing. God bless you. Thank you so much. But I just want to ask you this question that if you notice that you are the type that you just want to get your hands in everything, like you are the one in tech, you are the one leading this project, you are the one who is interested in designing, you are the one in mobile app, you are the one in student leadership, almost everywhere. And you know you are good at this thing. But at some point in time, you sit down to look at yourself and be like, I can't be everywhere. I need to find like a particular one I need to just focus on. But your mind is still like, I still want to be everywhere. What do you think I need to do? Please, what do
Okay,
you think I need to do?
great
Because over
question.
time, I've noticed that there are some things that I want to do, and but I just need that direction. What do you think I need to do? Thank you.
Okay,
God.
this is such a beautiful question, because I think this is one of the biggest distraction of all of us in this age of technology and everything. The first thing I want you to know is, if this is you, you are distracted. That's the first thing you must know. Trying to put yourself everywhere is a big distraction, and you will not get anywhere. I can tell you for free. Now, there is a concept, I don't know if you understand, the concept of being in seasons in your life. Regardless of how good you are, at a lot of things, certain seasons of your life will require that you drop off a lot of things. Now, let me give you a practical example. When I entered the month of September, I took an audit because I sort of understand how I pivot into new seasons in my life. So when certain things start to happen in my life, I know that, okay, there's a season about to open. Now, here's what I did. Because I work for myself and I work with a lot of clients, and I knew that if I'm going to get into a new season, I'm going to drop off a lot of things. Here's what I did. I cut off from a lot of clients. They pay very well. I had to cut off from a lot of clients so that I can make room for myself to grow into the season that was trying to open before me, or that is trying to open before me. So just know that it's a distraction. I know how to do a lot of things. I know how to sing. I know how to design. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I stopped singing because in the order of priority for where I am going, singing has a low value on that vision of where I'm going. So I stopped singing. I stopped being in the choir, because you know that being in the choir is full-time job, especially if you are in a big ministry. It's a full-time job. I had to stop because what I'm seeing is that my singing abilities does not have 100% value on where I am going. So I dropped it. I stopped doing design because design is not part of the things that would speak loud in where I am going. I could dance. I stopped dancing. I want to be everywhere, but I had to stop because it's a distraction. So you cannot be in tech, you cannot be an app developer, you cannot be this, you cannot be that. If you understand the concept of seasons, I'd like you to really take advantage of it. Even if you don't understand the concept of seasons, sit with yourself, reorganize your life, and reprioritize your priorities. I know we have priorities, we have things we want to do, but you did economics, scale of preference, and what's the other one again? So you have to pick the one that is most important at the time and keep the other ones aside. You can see, this thing is distraction. I know we like to say we multitask, but the definition of that thing is big distraction. You can't be anywhere. There is no advice you need other than understanding that trying to be everywhere is a distraction. I'll tell you and give you another example. There are certain conferences I like to get myself involved in. But when I looked at the priority of my life in this season, I saw that will only be a distraction. So instead of me to go to that conference and feel good about myself, I rather sit down at home and read a 20-page book that applies to the season where I am at the moment, or whatever project it is that I'm working on. There's something that's really happening in this age. We get so fascinated about being everywhere, and we miss out on the things we're supposed to be prioritizing and paying attention to. So that when they talk about tech, you are in tech. When they talk about software development, you are there. If they talk about this, you are there. You just get excited about the idea, but over time, your life does not make any constructive progress rather. Please, it's a distraction. Look at all of it and take the one that applies to you and that is most important according to what you are working on at the time, and focus on it. Give yourself time. Maybe in a different time or a different season, you could pick up the other things, but you can't be everywhere. It's a big distraction and you will not make constructive progress in your life. I hope that answers your question.
Wow, thank you very much, Ma. That was really awesome. And thank you so much for stating that fact about not being everywhere and fixating on one's important space, important energy. We are actually talented human beings. We are multi-talented, and leaders are actually multi-talented. But it takes intentionality to identify that specific talent that would meet the vision that one has envisioned. Thank you so much for that, Ma. I see Miss Anuoluwapo is raising her hand. You can unmute and ask your question. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma, for that wonderful session. I feel like there was just a lot for me to take in, and I wish that the time was not constrained. Thank you so much. Okay, so my question is going to be like a follow-up question to what you just answered. So, what do you have to say to maybe persons who they've actually found that path and they already know that, oh, I feel like I'm being distracted. I feel like this is the season that is upon me, and then this is what I'm supposed to do. But instead of taking action, they are more interested in the mental, not like they are more interested in the mental simulation, but they they find solace in attending conferences like this, knowing that, oh, there's a push, I have to do something. But the once they reach that peak and then they gain all of this knowledge, they do not have the energy to put it into action, in the sense that they go for conferences, they read books, they amass knowledge and all of that. But at the end of the day, for example, this conference now, at the end of the day, everybody in this conference, everybody is loving the session and all of that. Then we get back home and nothing. So what do you have to say? What advice would you like to give to persons like that, that it's just a mental simulation for them? They are just interested in the intellectual conversations. They are just interested in gaining the knowledge. They are
Okay.
interested in making change happen, but they don't know how to go about it. So I would like to know your take on that. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. It's fine. They don't know how to go about it, or they feel reluctant in going about it. Let me
Exactly.
get
I
that
feel
clear.
like they
This is
feel reluctant. Yes.
reluctant to go about it. It's simple. It's discipline you need. It's discipline. What discipline? Doing what you are supposed to do, whether or not whether or not you feel like doing it. That's discipline. All of these conversations that we have conferences like this, group mentorship programs, and all of those things are just starters. The work is on you. Remember when I was talking about responsibility component, it is tied to this. Motivation is just what gets you started, like to put you in that feel-good state. But what keeps you going is discipline and commitment. If you amass and acquire all of this knowledge and you are reluctant about taking action, it means that what got you started on the journey was not serious enough, and it means that you are lacking discipline. There's nothing we could say about it other than admitting that you don't have discipline. Is it easy? No, I told you in the course of my conversation that it's not going to be hard. There are days when there are days you will give up, like you already give up, but it takes discipline to bring yourself back. I'll give you an example. Personally, I am not one who, I don't know, maybe it's just the way I grew up or something. I cannot explain it. When I'm weak, when I'm discouraged, I pick myself back up. I don't know how to meet people and like, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm going through. Do you know what brings me back up? The vision of my future is consistently before me. That's what keeps me self-motivated and self-inspired. If you go for conferences, the primary aim of even going for conferences, in my own opinion, is one of it is for you to meet people and to get yourself refreshed on the things that you are already working on. It's not to go and amass knowledge, read books, and have nice conversations, and your life do not have proofs to show for all of the knowledge that you have learned. There's a way the Bible describes such a person: ever learning but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. And there was a place in the Bible where Jesus Christ had to curse a tree because from what I understand in that verse of scripture, every resources that tree needed was available. Obviously, the tree was taking in all of these resources, looked good outside, but was not producing fruit. What did Jesus Christ do to such tree? He cursed it. So you should anybody who is in that space should liken his or herself to that kind of tree. You can't be taking all of this knowledge and still give excuse that you're not executing. There's a way my coach describes it, DDK. She says it's normalized nonsense, and you have to get yourself out of it. You can't always be waiting for people to come and push you and what it means. People say your why is not strong, but I say it means the reason that got you started on the journey is not strong enough. Maybe you are doing it because other people is doing it, so you want to get that feel of, so that when they are talking about this conversation, you come and mark the register that I am part of these people. So 2 things I'll say: discipline and commitment. When you sit on a call like this today, you get energized, you get refreshed. When this call ends, everybody will slip back into the state because that's how the brain works. But you have to teach your brain to work for you the way it wants to. So you have to develop discipline. One word I'll say is discipline and commitment. You have to be disciplined enough to engage yourself in what it takes. If Dr. B was just motivated about the idea of this conference, or the great vision and the things that she read out, you will not be here today. If she was just being reluctant after gathering so much knowledge, you won't be seated here today to get yourself refreshed on the journey. So be disciplined. And let me speak like my coach: get out from your normalized nonsense and do what is required of you to do to see the results that you desire. So I think that's what I'll say to that. That's what I'll
Wow.
say.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm sure that question was answered very, very well. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this wonderful session. Can we give a round of applause again? Can we keep it coming? 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 Please. It was awesome. Yes, it was awesome. We are refreshed. We are refreshed indeed. And I am sure that after this, we are definitely not slipping back into our former state. We came with a mindset before this call. And I would urge every one of us not to slip back into that mindset, but to stick with discipline and commitment. Discipline and commitment. It is your journey. It is my journey. It is the change you want and the change I want. Nobody else but you. So you have to give it all it takes. Thank you so much, Miss Elizabeth, for that wonderful session. Thank you very, very much. Can we give her a round of applause again as she takes her leave? Thank you so, so, so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, ma'am. Yeah, and I am sure we are definitely ready for our next speaker. We are having a very good time right now. And wow, I would say I have been learning. I have been learning. If you've been learning, I want you to type that in the comment section. I am learning. I am learning. I am learning. I am learning. Like she said, your fourth skill in taking that change is the learning process. The learning process. And that is what we are doing here today. That is what we are doing here today. So type in the comment section, I am learning. Let me see how many people are active. Yeah, how many people are active? Good, 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 good. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Yeah. So I am sure our second speaker is on the call now. Our second speaker is on the call and
Lolade,
is ready.
please give me a
Yes,
minute.
ma'am.
Sorry.
Oh, sure,
Sorry
sure, sure.
about that.
No
Yeah.
problem. Yes, ma'am.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Would you still be around till the end of the meeting? Oh, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, I am.
Great.
I
So
can.
I was writing a message to you. I'm actually supposed to go take an injection. I've been on treatment since yesterday.
Oh,
I
so
had to be
sorry.
on this call before I go. That's fine.
Don't worry, we'll still bring Elizabeth in on the mentorship of, because I see some people still have more questions. That's why I asked. But there's no problem. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I'll reach out to you. So expect Elizabeth very soon. Thank you so much.
Forgive me,
Olade,
everybody. I have to leave. I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
I would have to.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
ma'am. No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Olade. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So I will be introducing our next speaker now, and he's definitely getting ready for us. His name is Mr. Praise God Adesoji. So as I read his bio, I would like us to listen attentively to see the wonderful things he has done, the impactful change he has been making for the past few years. So Mr. Praise God is an environmentalist, a climate change advocate, and a sustainability activist with keen interest in building sustainable and climate resilient communities in Africa. Praise God support organizations to implement capacity building programs to tackle environmental sustainability, poverty, malnourishment in women and children in rural communities in Africa. He is a doctor of veterinary medicine from the University of Ibadan. He is an ECOWAS Youth Ambassador and a recipient of the Nelson Mandela's Leadership Award of Excellence and Integrity. He is a 2020 Commonwealth 100 open source leader and a campus ambassador in the International Model United Nations and Project Statecraft. Praise God Praise God is an active volunteer in many organizations involved in social impact. He's an ardent believer in the potential of youths like himself, in the positive transformation of the society. His enthusiasm for knowledge and leading initiative has earned him over 20 certificates in areas across diverse aspects in health, leadership, advocacy, human capital development, entrepreneurship, and gender equality, as well as membership in organizations around the world. Wow, wow, wow. That is just awesome. So with a round of applause, if it was a physical event right now, we want us to give a standing ovation. So let's just make it awesome and welcome Mr. Praise God to take his own session in this summit. Yeah, let's give it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. You're welcome, sir. And the floor is yours.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Bolu, for the invite, and nice to be here. My name is Praise God. simply praise God. And thank you very much, Ololade, for the. She was always reminding me, always sending mails and all, but thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here. So good morning, everyone. I trust that even from the previous session, we had a very wonderful time. I was around even for a bit of it, and then I know that indeed she did a very wonderful job. So I'm just going to be capping it up in the next few minutes, and then we'll just be discussing on something very pivotal, something very important, and the topic that I was given was change makers. But you know, when I was just planning, I have like a PowerPoint presentation for this, but something that was just coming to my mind was from local to global. So if you can just type in the chat section, can you just type from local to global? From local to global. So, or if you can just open your mouth and say it. Yes, so from local to global. So irrespective of whatever you are doing now, I can assure you that you can do 10x. Please, can we hear me? I just thank you very much. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. So whatever you are doing now, I just want to tell you that, okay, you can do 10x of that, like 10 times of whatever you are doing now. And some of the people that are doing massive stuff, like great stuff, even all around the world, they are not much more different than you are. It's just that they've developed themselves, they refine themselves to go the extra mile. Someone said that, you know, social media has really like widened the gap, and then we just brought everybody together. And then someone can be doing something small, but yeah, the way we paint it online, maybe on LinkedIn or Instagram, it will be as if it's saving the whole world. And literally, somebody can be doing something great, something massive, but yet because he's not putting himself out there, it will be as if he's not doing anything. So that's just the social media space. And please just permit me, I'll be sharing my screen now, and then let me see. All right. So yeah, let me see. All right, please, can we see my screen? You can just comment.
Yes, it's clear.
All right, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much. All right, so in the next few minutes, we'll just be discussing about this. So once again, the team is Changemakers, and then the program is Summers Leadership Summit. So I know that Ololade has given us like a brief introduction about me, but for people that don't know me, or maybe we are just meeting for the first time, I graduated from the University of Ibadan Veterinary Medicine. I currently serve as an ECOWAS Ambassador Nelson Mandela Leadership Award for Excellence and Integrity. Then I've had like a bit of like opportunities here and there, which I don't want to go into. But for the sake of today's meeting, we are going to be discussing on something very, very important. And then I want you to take note. I want you to shun distractions, and then I can assure you that you will really be blessed. All right. So we'll start from opportunity. You know what differentiates you from the person, from your mentor, or from the person that you are maybe looking up to or admiring is actually an opportunity. So, you know, an opportunity is actually a favorable time or occasion. It's a situation or condition favorable for attainment of a goal. So basically, I think, was it Bill Gates also that was saying that it was at the right place at the right time. So, you know, opportunity means the prepared, not the negligence. So they call it chance, but basically people just call it opportunity. Opportunity, being at the right place at the right time, applying for the right opportunities at the right time, actually. So I'll talk about the sustainable development goals. You cannot be a change maker without not aligning yourself to these 17 goals of the United Nations. It's not just possible actually, because these goals, I think we are focusing on it till year 2030, and whatever you are doing must be tied or must be aligned to any of these 17 goals. So for one of the goals, I'll just try to run over it. No poverty, zero hunger. I know a very close friend of mine doing great stuff, church on the street, massive work and all. They are working on zero hunger, going to streets, feeding people, like food in slums. I don't know if maybe you've ever participated in anything like that. Maybe let's say like 1,000 children in the slum or so. So people are working on quality education. Look at the amount of people that failed in JAMB, I think last year, maybe 70%. That means like 7 out of 10 people failed the exam, which is very, very bad. So you can decide to tie any of your social work to probably quality education. Some people are working on Goal 13, climate action. I work in the intersection of Goal 4, Goal 13, and then I know an organization in the UK, Collaborate to Grow, and a very fantastic woman. I want it to Goal 17 is partnerships for the goal. Meanwhile, just bringing everybody together, actually bringing all these remaining goals together and then looking at how we can implement them. So this is year 2024, and then we are looking at 2030. So just 6 years to go. And any of these 17 goals, from no poverty to good health and well-being to sustainable cities, reduce inequalities. So basically, this is actually the foundation. Like, this is very fundamental. If you are in a way going or aspiring to be a change maker in the future, you have to align yourself to one of these 17 goals. And then you must start early. You must start early. Greta Thunberg, I think she started at the age of 13 or 14 or so in Sweden, and now she's a very great person. She's still in her teens. So people, you cannot say you are small. There are people all over the world doing massive stuff, amazing stuff, I can assure you. So literally, just find one of these goals and then please plug into it and then start developing yourself. So vision. To be a change maker requires vision, because all of us, we know Cristiano Ronaldo is the best in football, but he's not the best in marathon also. We know Usain Bolt. So basically, vision gives you clarity. It gives you speed. So Messi is very great in football, but he's not great in athletics. Usain Bolt is great in marathon, but he's not great in football, something like that. So basically, vision gives you speed. You don't shoot scattered shots. You know, scattered shots is that today you are doing this, tomorrow you are doing something else. You are just doing different things like that. But actually, vision gives you speed. And then a clear vision helps you identify the types of opportunities. So if you are online, maybe you follow opportunities for Africa, or some of these pages where they share maybe scholarships and then all this other info. They just keep sharing it every day, maybe exchange programs, internships all over the world, JP Morgan, Chase and all. There are a lot of them. But you know, vision helps you to know which one exactly to apply for. So I think the fundamental thing needed to even be a change maker is actually vision. Vision is that, okay, where do I want to align myself? Do I want to be in quality education? Am I passionate about climate change? Am I passionate about zero hunger? Nigeria poverty capital. What can I do actually? So vision just helps you to position yourself best. Please, have you just followed?
Yes, we are with you.
Thank you. All right. All right, thank you very much. So diligence, the next thing after vision is diligence. Diligence brings your work to limelight. Basically, you put in the work. I can assure you that it's not possible to be a change maker without being diligent. Diligence is what separates you from the other person. Doing the same, you can be doing the same thing, but somebody is putting the work, burning the midnight candle, and then going the extra mile. So applying for opportunities is not that easy. And even from probably I'm thinking that I'm talking to youth majorly, and even from 100 level, from Millennium Fellowship or all these small programs, internships and all. It takes time. Applying for opportunities is not that easy. It requires weeks or months of positioning. For many people, what we try to do is that we wait till probably maybe a program is almost ending, maybe like an opportunity is almost ending and we want to apply for it. And has it ever happened to you before that, okay, maybe like you're just checking the time, it's almost 12 midnight, let me conclude whatever I'm doing and then send it, this is 11:30. You put in, hey, this 11:40, 11:45. Has it ever happened to any one of us like that? That okay, this stuff will close by 12 midnight and I must submit my application, something like that. So, we are not being diligent. And then especially if you are applying for global programs, I can assure you, even the fact that you are rushing is already, they call it like love letters too. They just have you breakfast or something. And I've applied for a program before. I'm just going to be sharing very practical experiences so we can be able to understand. I've applied for programs before whereby they said the selection rate was like 0.5 or 0.05%. Actually, I think it was the United Nations FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization program. And then imagine if you rushed to submit that kind of application, it's not possible for you to get it. It's not like how some people have been working on weeks or months. So basically, I'm just saying that if you want to be a change maker, we are talking about from local to global, and then we are talking about that. Okay, in the nearest future, you will not be where you are in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year. That's why this summit is coming up. Is that okay? You'll have gone way beyond where you are now. Actually, so please give yourself to diligence. Actually, diligence. Be very diligent. Work on opportunity weeks or months before. What I used to do is that I have like a calendar. Before I had like a tab. Before I had a tab or a laptop or something, I used to write them down in a jotter. Today, okay, this opportunity is closing on this is September. Let's say maybe September 30th. This one is closing on September 15th. This one is October 1, something like that. Actually, having a content calendar helps you a lot. it helps you to be focused, and then it helps you to actually be very diligent. All right, thank you. So apply early. Please, can we still see my screen? So apply early. The early bird gets the worm. Some applications are on rolling basis. Rolling basis is that once they get like the number of people they want, some people will just move on. So you get, okay, so okay, we are looking for 10 people, 20 people to fill up this space, and then all. So you know the early bird gets the worm. So please and please, as much as possible, try to apply early. And then bring your A game on board. Can you say bring your A game on board? I want us to unmute our mics and say bring your A game on board.
Bring your A.
Bring your
Bring your A game on board.
All right, can we say it again? Bring your A game on board.
Bring your A game on board.
Bring your
Bring your A game on board.
So bring your A game. You know, in being a change maker, most times we get opportunities to maybe speak at an event or maybe even apply for any stuff actually. Make sure you always bring your A game on board. A game is that always be ready, like be super ready, like bring your best. You know, sometimes we say, okay, let me hide this information. Maybe I did so and so project, and then you just undermine it that I don't think it's that important. Hey, again, like let me just keep this one. Let me give them this one, and then maybe I'll just hold on to this one. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. Bring your A game on board. It's like saying that you are bringing a chainsaw to a fight of knives or something, or bringing an AK-47 to a fight of knives. Hey, again, bring your E game on board. You can never be too prepared for any opportunities, something like that. Always bring your best. Basically, that's what I mean. And then understand the act of storytelling. Storytelling helps the audience to understand what you're saying better, like it captivates them. And then sell yourself. Your competition is global. Can you say my competition is global?
My
competition
is global.
My competition is global. Yes, thank you very much. So you know when you understand that your competition is global, you not feel this competitive or this jealous spirit about others. Your competition is not people around you, probably in Ibadan or in Abuja or Lagos or Nigeria. So it's not even in Africa. Your competition is global. There are children, 12-year-old children, even in US or Canada or US, doing massive stuff. So your competition is global. Your competition is not people in your class or in your streets or your hostel or something. Actually, that's why you have to stand out. That's why you have to stand out. So sell yourself, understand the act of storytelling. Don't disqualify yourself. You know, most times you see programs and then you want to apply for them and then you say, me, okay. Maybe let me see which program, maybe Mandela Washington Fellowship, for example. Or you see just maybe one very global program, maybe JP Morgan internship, or maybe Bank of America, or this Maryland fellowship. And if you just say Mike, how will they even select me? In fact, you've not even checked the requirements, so like you've not even gone through anything, any of the requirement process, and you're saying no, it cannot be me. It's for big people, something like that. You know, unconsciously, that's how many people disqualify themselves. Even before the race starts, you've already disqualified yourself. So be bold and be courageous. So even if you are writing, please just write it. This one is very important. If you are writing or making jottings or so, bring your A game on board actually. You know, we've talked about diligence, it's very important. We've talked about applying early. It's also very important, but also understand that, okay, you have to bring your A game on board. Everything that you are doing, you have to be excellent, actually. Be excellent and then be the best at what you are doing. Okay. So as I was preparing the slide, I just felt that, okay, maybe one person here or two persons here maybe need some of the sites whereby you can get opportunities, because I can assure you that opportunities is what differentiates people. Now, at the beginning of the slide, we talked about, okay, it's being at the right place at the right time. So there are some of these programs that will, you know, some of these training programs, and then they'll just blow your mind, actually. For example, I was selected for a mini program. I was even still in school, probably 300 level then, or 400 level, one mini program. It was sponsored by Standard Chartered, and then it was at Ibadan Business School for I think 6 weeks. And then even the cost to host one person was more than 250,000. So again, the cost to train one person was more than 250,000, and I think we were just 40. I was the class governor, like the head of everybody at the business school that time. So you know, some of the speakers, the trainings, and all, it just opens your mind to them. So I dropped a link of just names. You can write them down if you have taken notes. So some of these sites, you get some of these opportunities to probably make a change maker, opportunities for Africans, Some of us may be used to it before, opportunity desk, but I'm just saying this for people that maybe this will be their first time in a meeting or something like this. Scholarship regions, opportunities for youth, why opportunities, opportunities circle official. So, many of these sites actually, they keep dropping opportunities every day. And then when I mean opportunities, I mean from something as little as a training, as little as an exchange programs. I know that we may have we've had students. I know students in UI, even beyond UI itself, that go for exchange programs within and outside the country, fully sponsored actually. Exchange programs, summer programs, different ones actually. Scholarship, maybe when you now graduate to probably master's or postgraduate level, you cannot talk about maybe scholarship, PhD, fellowship, and all. But some of these sites, you can get trainings, fantastic, amazing opportunities. Some of them are even paid. All these internships, they are paid, and some of them are remote. So we can develop an opportunity calendar, write down the dates, write and be very diligent, sincerely. You want to be a change maker, you have to be very diligent. You must go the extra mile and then put in your very best. Put in your very best. So what's the next one? Can someone read the topic? This next one that I just wrote. Just ensure that we are following. What's the
Expand your mindset.
Expand your
Expand your
mindset.
mindset.
Yes, thank you very much. It shows that I'm talking to very intelligent and very smart people. So expand your mindset, and then we are following. No means what? No means next opportunity. Can you say next opportunity?
Next opportunity.
Next opportunity.
Yes, thank you very much. So, some people you get rejection letters, and then you'll be like, I thought I put in my best. She get, or some of us, you sit down, you craft, you will literally put in your best actually and then you just say, okay, how did they even used to write it? Say, unfortunately, we regret to announce to you that okay, a lot of people applied, but all these stories now that they send to people. We had a lot of applicants this year, and then we'll be moving on with a better candidate or something like that. All these HRs, they know how to craft some of this stuff. So basically, when you get a no or when you get a rejection, no basically means next opportunity. Then learn to attend events or conferences, make strategic connections too. So if you get a no, it means that okay, maybe you don't get it this year, you can try again next year. Let's say okay, for yearly, I was at national convention like was it not 2 weeks ago or 1 month ago? No means next opportunity. If you were not selected this year, try again next year. Actually, just try again. It just means next opportunity. So don't take it personal. As a change maker, you must be very keen to change or be very adapt yourself to change. So then learn to attend events or conferences. In events or conferences, you get to meet people. You get to meet to fellowship, to network with other people actually, and then it's very key. Make strategic connections. This program that I said that okay, the training for each one was 250,000. When I was class governor, later the following year, and then an opportunity now opened. Someone applied actually. Someone applied for the program or for the training, and then he did not get selected. Like I just encouraged him, I put in for this stuff now. And then he did not get selected. He told me, okay, something, they sent me rejection mail, no problem. So when they now wanted to pick the next cohort, so since I already knew that it got a rejection mail based on the number of people that got selected. And then one of the people at the back end now reached out to me that, okay, praise God, do I have any slot or any candidate for that? Okay, do I know anybody that, okay, they just have maybe 1 or 2 slots left. And then they were just asking for my opinion. And I said, no problem. I have one person, like he applied for a share get, but he was not picked. And then immediately they just say, okay, send his contact, something. And then they did they interviewed him that same day. It was even on the road when they called him for the interview, and then amazingly he was selected straight up. But when I talk about making strategic connections, you never can know who is who. And then just be good actually. So expand your mindset, learn to attend events. You never can know some of the people that you meet at events. Most of the people that probably I've met today, and then we are very great friends. I met them at programs, and from then we just been very fantastic friends. For some of them on LinkedIn too, and from LinkedIn your conversation will now expand to other, probably to transition to WhatsApp, and then you just keep up the conversation like that. So expand your mindset. All right, so do we know who this is? I just put the picture. Have we seen this picture before? Anybody? Do we know who this is?
Yes.
Okay, so I think his name is even there already. So this is I just put this picture so you just like examples of change makers, and there's people that are very young. So this is Emmanuel Onduka. For people on LinkedIn, they'll know him, Elumelu boy. No, this guy just tagged Tony Elumelu on LinkedIn, and then he just wrote a very beautiful piece about him as his mentor and all. He has never been on a flight before, never, like never, never. His family, it's not as if he's from the top family like that. And then do you know like Tony Elumelu go back to him and say, okay, why not invite him for a program, our next program, I think in Lagos or so. That was his first time on his flight. Why? Because he just wrote something online, and then the person saw it and said, okay, who is this person that considers me as a mentor or something? Why not? Let's just invite him. I went to Owerri, and then I spoke with Emmanuel, and then he was saying some of these things. And then you know that Emmanuel is not somebody that is not the outgoing kind of person. He's kind of very shy and reserved, but you know, you must just always put yourself out there. Irrespective, you know, some people will say that I'm not the social media person, I'm not the LinkedIn person. Those people are just the best and the best. No, it's just putting your foot out actually, and then doing the best that you can. Doing the best that you can. And then from there, he has gotten other opportunities. He just go back from China now. And just one step at a time. Take it one day at a time. Don't bother about doing massive great stuff or something. Just take it one day at a time. Be faithful, be diligent. The Bible says it's a little here, a little there. She get a little here today, you are faithful, tomorrow you are faithful like that. Just keep putting out yourself and then you become great eventually. So we know this person. This is Temilade Salami. For many people, she's founder of Echo Champions, amazing person. I think chairman of Commonwealth. Hello, if you're on Instagram, there's no way by which you not know Temilade. Only if you're not that consistent on Instagram. But she's doing massive stuff. She's a change maker. She's just young. I'm not sure she's up to 30, but she's still doing massive stuff. So, regardless of wherever you are, what level you are, you can still do great and amazing stuff. I know you from the start of this program, I was saying that it's from local to global, actually, from where you are now to you being 10x or 100x or whatever you are doing now. And then I think Temilade graduated with a second class lower. So, most times we think that, okay, I have to have the best of the best grades. And then it is what you make of the grade after school that matter. So it's good having a first class or a 2-1 is an excellent it's like a leverage for you. But irrespective of where you are, it is what you make out of it that matters. Just keep putting in your best, keep refining yourself, and then before you know, you're almost a change maker. Yeah, so this is Tony Elumelu. Everybody, I'm sure some of us may have applied for Tony Elumelu Fellowship. Tony Elumelu Fellowship. Tony Elumelu his name is basically Anthony, and these are just examples. So Anthony Elumelu, he graduated with, he also finished with a 2-2, for instance, and then for people that know his story, let me just recap on the story because I'm watching my time. Tony Elumelu graduated, and then he applied for a job. He was recruiting for a job, like a banking job. And then the criteria for the banking role was they needed people from 2-1 and first class and above. So, imagine if you want to apply for a job or an opportunity, and then you can already see in the criteria that, okay, it's people within this category that we want. But, he did not look down on himself. He still applied nonetheless. He put in his application. And then do you know what he wrote in his application? He wrote that, I know that this is not my best, but if I'm given a chance, I am willing, I am willing to put in my very best. I know that my grades do not define me, something like that. I'm willing to put in my best. And then thank you very much. I would love to be considered also. So, do you know when the bank manager saw the cover letter, and then he was like, who is this person? Okay, obviously he does not have the grade that we want. But in this cover letter, he's saying that he's willing to put in his very best if he's given a chance. And then, the bank manager said, okay, no problem. Since he said he wants to put in his best, let's give him a chance. And then today, from then, he was selected, started his work, and then now he's doing massive stuff. Now he owns a bank by himself. That's UBA, United Bank for Africa. But forever and ever, he's grateful to that bank manager that gave him a chance, something like that. But for him, he did not write himself up. Today he owns a bank. So actually, never put yourself out of the race. So lastly, I think this is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, wonderful woman. That's World Trade Organization. She started small. One of the ways by which you know people that will eventually be big is from now. Or people that will really be like global change makers is from now. It's from consistently doing the little things that you are doing now, which will later amount to the greater ones. So, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Nigerian president of World Trade Organization. She's schooled in Ibadan self too. I think ISI too. She finished from ISI. So they'll say never allow your background to put your back to the ground. Imagine how come somebody from Ibadan or something tries to, do you know what World Trade Organization is? Is it like you are controlling the world finance, something like that? And then you happen to be a Nigerian, you happen to be a female. So there's no limitation, actually. There's no limitation for wherever you want to get to. The only obstacle is just yourself. And then the purpose of this meeting is for you to expand your mindset, see possibilities actually, see possibilities that it is possible. It is possible actually. So as a round up, can we just read this together? Can you say think globally but act locally?
Think
Think
globally,
globally, but act
but act
locally.
locally.
Can we say it again? Think globally and act locally.
Think, think
Think
globally
globally,
and
act
act
locally.
locally.
All right. Thank you very much. So we're saying like think globally, like let your mindset be global. Don't let your mindset be less. Don't let your mindset be. Don't let people tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. Like don't let them put limitations. That's what I mean. Don't disqualify yourself. Think globally. Actually, your mindset is global. Your mindset is not people around you. It's not your family. It's not your whether I come from a rich family or not. It does not matter actually. Once your mindset is global, that's one of the things that really help you to be a great filmmaker. Actually, you must see that okay. Well, probably once you've identified your vision, where you want to be, which aspect you want to be, and then you are very diligent, you apply, you put in the work, bring your A game on board, make sure you think globally actually. Then act locally. Let's say, okay, maybe you have like, for example, you can start from volunteering, you can start from internships, you can start from helping out here and there, gain training, learn. So you get the first thing is basically like mentorship, learn. We probably maybe learn under somebody that is doing something that you admire, or just learn through maybe YouTube or Instagram, or just admire people online and they really, really do diligent work in following up on them. Actually, following up on them, whether virtually or if possible by leverage physically, but think globally and then act locally. So I think I'll just open the floor now for questions. If you have questions, thank you very, very much. This is the last slide, and then it has been a wonderful discussion with you all. Thank you so much. All
Oh,
right.
wow. Thank you, Mr. Praise God. Thank you so much. Yeah. A lot of people are loving this, and I am loving this. Uninterrupted attention all through. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you very, very much, sir. And the energy that we have received, I'm sure many are eager to burst out of their locality. Many are eager to burst out and to do great and awesome things. To do great and awesome things with their mind, with their giftings. And it's wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. So is there anyone that has a question for Mr. Praise God? You can signify. Yeah, I'm seeing you. Okay. I will call on Miss Groja. You can go first. Yeah.
Okay, good morning, sir. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed your session. It's so great to listen to you again. So this is my question. Actually, I've like let's say that a webinar for like 2 years now, so which is online. So this year, one of my goals is to make it like a physical conference. But due to the experience I had with the webinar like 2 years ago, because it's sometimes very hard, because I could discover that those webinars I was the one doing majorly the work. I had team members, but I don't know how to put it. They were not just putting in the work, and this is webinars that you actually inform people that these days you are doing this, you are doing that. You can't afford to tell them that you're not doing it anymore. So I had to take up the tax and everything. So it has really, I don't want to say, like little fears ever since the month of May, because normally these webinars it usually comes up every year in August. So now we're thinking that it's kind of going to be like a physical conference in November. Even as of now, I don't know. I just have this little fear, like, like, what if people don't like questions like this? I keep asking myself, and it has really been holding me, holding me down. I don't know, like, what are those things that you think I can do? Because I really feel that this is not it's not something related to just me alone. There are a lot of people that really need to get benefited from this conference. So I really like to hear your opinion about this. Thank you so much.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. I don't know if I'm to take all the questions first or just answer this one first. Thank you
You
very
can
much.
you can go ahead with this one, sir.
Okay, all right. So one of the things I've noticed about like programs or conferences is under finance. Sure, you get. So imagine if you had $1 million, do you think your program will hold? I think that's allowed. If you had $1 million, do you think you have issues holding the program? So majorly, what I just see is under finance. If you have like the main thing is actually to number one, have a goal, have a vision, and then bring a team on board. Bringing a team, for example, if you have a teammate they'll say, okay, two are better than one. Actually, that is not putting in the best. You can always start again. You can always get a good teammate. So the first thing is actually finance. Get good finance. Imagine you have for this same event, you have 5 million, you have 10 million naira to host it. Then get good teammates. There was a time I had a meeting I spoke with what's her name, Tosin Olasende. Tosin Olasende, I met with her in Lagos. She's the founder of Money Africa, for people that she's in edtech, like fintech. So, and then, I was like, talking with Tony, and then I had the privilege to ask her a question like this. And then, Tony, our net worth is almost like 7 billion, 7 billion naira. And then I was asking her, okay, how do you run the organization, something like that. And then, Tony was saying that imagine for a billion naira startup, and then the number of people in the team, they are just 8. I'm like, how are you just 8? There are many small organizations that do not have like 1/100 of what you have, and yet there are almost 20, 30 people working for them. But she said, no, praise God, that we go for the best of the best. No, it's better to just go with people that are very smart, people that have the vision, have the drive, and the people that are willing to put in the work. So even if it's 4 people, even if it's 5%, that that okay, these people will put in the work. It's better than amassing 20, 30 volunteers. Sometimes people have 50 volunteers or more for events. But if you can get 5 people, 10 people that are willing and able to put in the work, is fine. So she changed my perspective that time, that sincerely it's not about the number. Not about the number. For that example, the Money Africa, great startup actually in Lagos, in Africa now. 8 billion, 7 billion valuation, and yet they are just 8 members. 8 members, including so they are just like 7 members or something like that. And then please get for finance, write letters to organizations to support you, write letters to 30 different organizations. Don't do less, actually. Nothing stops you from getting, in fact, it can be a small program. Nothing stops you from raising like 5 million, 8 million, 10 million naira for a small program. It just depends on finance. And then don't limit yourself to Nigerian startups. For example, if you write letters to organizations in Ibadan, I'm not sure they'll support you, something like that. It's just very few people. But expand your mindset, write organization. Since you are laughing, Ibadan startups will not support you. Write to Lagos, write to Ikoyi, write to the island, write to Abuja, write to the UK. Write to the UK. I just wanted to. I've made just one little program one time like this, and then someone said almost like 200K, maybe just like 100 pounds. And I was like, even the entire program said this is more than the budget just for one person. So expand your mindset. Don't limit yourself to people around you, and then be very financed. Actually, be very financed. Like have enough money and bring a good team, even if it's 4 persons, 5 persons that that will really put in the work. Please bring them on board. If a person is not working, please substitute the person or get a new person to fill in the role. I don't know if I answered the question. All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I can see
Wow,
like
thank you. Yeah, you really answered that, and it is very direct. Yeah, get a good team. Make sure the team is not full of people that just want to be there, just want to be present. They should be active team members, active team members. So I'm sure Miss Salau got her question answered. Yeah, I can see Stephen raising his hand. Stephen, you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, I think I can see like 2 or 3 hands up. I
Are
think
we sure
anyone
it's
can.
still?
Okay.
Anybody can go next. Let's have.
Or better
Uh,
still,
Can you hear me now?
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, go
Okay.
on.
Yes.
I've forgotten that my mic was muted. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Sorry. I want to first. I want to appreciate Mr. Thank God. We praise God. Well, for that presentation, it was really good. And my question is this. This question has been on my mind as we discuss creating impact and driving positive change. Okay, I'm curious to know what role does formal education play in becoming a change maker? Like, is it necessary? Is a degree necessary to make a meaningful difference, or are there alternative paths to achieving this goal? I mean, I'm interested in exploring ways to create positive change, regardless of like my educational background. So I want to know if this change, creating impact and change and driving positive change, is it for only people that have like a good level of formal education, or because I'm yet to have a degree myself, so that's why I want to ask the question. I just
All
need
right.
clarity, please.
All right. Thank you very much. Fantastic question. Is a school like schooling education, is it okay? Most times they say school has scam. And then if you follow the American playbook or the entrepreneur's playbook, they'll say that, okay, maybe Bill Gates, some of these people were dropouts and they had built massive stuff. So what I can just say is that education is a leverage. It gives you opportunity to sit down with the who is who of life. So there are certain opportunities that you cannot get there without being educated. And if you, let's say, okay, maybe if you were from another country, maybe let's say if you were from Canada or America, now probably I won't have probably maybe put too much emphasis. But if you are from Nigeria, I can assure you, please get the education that you need. I just have to be very sincere with you. Please get the education because, in fact, is a leverage. Let's say that you have the opportunity to go to LSE now, LSE London School of Economics now. The fact that you are even there, let's say you get a scholarship now. I'm just pointing. The fact that you are even in London School of Economics, the caliber of people that you meet there will be exceptional. These are children of like rich people all over the world, billionaires and billionaires. These are the people that will be your classmates. So the fact that you even have the opportunity to interact with them is a great leverage for you. So you may be coming from probably a developing country like Nigeria, and then you have some of these opportunities. One thing I would just say is that if you can, please get the education. In fact, it's like 70% chance that you actually be a very great change maker. You get my point. So education is a leverage. If you do not have the advantage of probably rich parents, you see, I think DJ Copy or one of these $100 child, she's going for a 4th degree. You never can tell actually. You never can tell where it will be needed. And then if you're an African, I think we should go beyond the level of school and scam or something. Please just get the education. If I just get it as much as possible. There's this person, Norman Borlaug. Norman Borlaug, the man who fed the world. I read this article, very fantastic person. This guy had 43 PhDs. There's Akinwumi Adesina, is the current president of the African Development Bank. He's even one of my screensaver if you saw it. Akinwumi Adesina has 16. Some of them are honorary, but it was the best in OAU. He had like a preliminary education and all. So and then now he has almost 16 PhDs. So there are certain heights actually that when you want to attain that height, they will even check through your track record. Because let's say you want to be the United Nations Secretary General now, probably the youngest. There's the people that you are competing with, some of them finish from the best school, some of them have PhDs, 2-3 PhDs, and then you're now coming with the same kind of stuff, and then you want to be a change maker, but you do not have the qualification to merit that kind of position. Do you get? So education is a leverage. If you can, please get it, and then if you can, please get it early enough. Whatever you are doing, please make sure that you are through with education by 30. When I mean education, I mean like BSc and at least minimum of masters. Minimum of masters. Please get it early. It's a leverage because it will matter in the future. Thank you. I don't know if I answered your question. All right.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
I'm
much.
sure.
Very
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that, sir. Any other person willing to ask a question? We have 2 slots left, so you can unmute and ask.
Praise God. Good morning, sir. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Good morning. Yes, yes.
You can go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. Oh, sorry. For someone who is just willing to start, so my question is there a room for mentorship? That's just my question. Is there a room for mentorship?
Can you repeat
Do
your
you like
question? It was not
personal
clear. Is there a room for
mentorship? If I got you right, you were
mentorship?
asking, is there room for mentorship? Like, do you
Okay.
mean like personally with me or every generally?
Either general or personal. I wouldn't mind. But at least if it's a mentorship stuff, so I wouldn't mind.
All right, thank you very much. So very, very important question. So mentorship is very key. It's very key. So did you know from the first slide I talked about like the SDG goals? You must know what aligns with your interest. Shege, what are you basically interested in? For some people, it's zero hunger. For some people, it's just quality education. Shege, so it's your interest that would determine who will become your mentor, something like that, or who will probably become your guide or so. So firstly, that you must find your interests. What are your passions? What can you do without even being paid? And then another thing is to start with volunteering. Volunteering may not be paid. Sure you get. I've worked in an organization. I think when I was 100 level, 200 level, worked with the organization, volunteered with them for projects, outreaches. I was not paid. I was learning. Sure you get. So learning can be formal and informal. You can learn under one person. And then you can also volunteer with organizations too. Maybe, okay, October is coming, October 11, International Day of the Girl Child. They are doing cleanup project. Yeah, just volunteer actually. It's also a means of learning too. But for me personally, I think you can just maybe speak with maybe Ololade or Dr. Bolu, and then you can get my contact. Then we'll just discuss more from there.
I have a contact, sir. I can get through to you. I have a contact, sir.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay.
All right, sir. Okay, sir.
All right.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for that. I see Imran raising his hand,
Yes.
and that will be the last question. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Imran.
Okay. I also do webinars. Personally a purpose life coach, and I also do webinars to online and also physical retreats. But then you talked about track record. I want to ask how to keep a consistent track record that will make people to know that okay, this is what this guy have been doing. Like for me to be known for what I do, because I discovered recently I was trying to apply for one international program. So I think in China also, and they were also asking for some of this track record. What have you done and all of these things? So my question is, how do one keep a consistent track record that can make these people know that okay, this person have been doing something valuable for a long period of time, and you'll see it's worthy for us to qualify the person. So it's just a simple question on how to keep a consistent track record and make it visible for these people to know that we've been doing something valuable and you can qualify us as anything that have to do with mentorship or development program. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Great question. Yeah. So track record is very important. For example, I'll start from the basic or from the list of the list. Let's say, okay, you were head boy. I don't want to start from now, so I want to start from something that probably you've done in the past. And then let's say you were head boy in your primary school or your secondary school. Head boy depicts leadership. It shows, or maybe you were a class captain or something. It depicts that actually you can lead people or you can coordinate people. Let's say you were a timekeeper. You were a timekeeper in your secondary school. Being a timekeeper depicts punctuality. It shows you are a person that is very punctual. Oh wow, you said, oh wow, interesting. Obviously, the spirit is one. So I did not even know you were a head boy, but I'm just saying that okay, from that aspect, okay, it depicts leadership, that you can coordinate people. Let's say you're a timekeeper. It depicts that you're a very punctual person, that you get the work done on time, and then you are just very punctual. That's why you were nominated for something like that. Yeah. So then when you now graduate to probably maybe higher school or college or something, then you now look at, okay, your volunteering experience, your job experience too. And there's no platform everywhere like globally now that they will not ask for your track record. Let's say your CV must contain actually details of what you've done, like your past work. Many of these stuffs now, they will ask for your Instagram accounts, they have for your probably your LinkedIn account too. So please and please, let's optimize. This may not be the meeting that we talk about, maybe in the subsequent meetings or in the next. Optimizing your social media account. So you get like LinkedIn now. LinkedIn, this basically what you've done, and then nobody can see you directly, but you know, when you send them a proof of your work, you send them your CV, you send them your LinkedIn account, they'll be able to say that, okay, this person has done so, 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 and so. So the first thing to do is just start small, and then in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, create like a blueprint for yourself. Create a plan that actually I want to have really amassed enough track record. A track record is just basically learning experiences, like learning curves here and there, and then opportunities, trainings here and there that really matter, and then probably leadership experience too. So you can, maybe if you're not yet in your final year, you can decide to take up a leadership position in your probably your department or your locality. You can decide to maybe volunteer with, maybe in fact, you can decide to volunteer maybe with international organizations too. There are some of them in Nigeria, Abuja and all, Lagos and all. Some of them are even online too. So these are ways by which you build track record. So it's built consistently. And then I just started from the back that, okay, if you were from secondary school, you're already building. In fact, you're already on track. The fact that you are even in this meeting shows that actually you are doing something great. The fact that everybody present, the fact that all of us are on this call, it shows that you have a plan, you have a dream to actually do bigger stuff than what you're doing now. So I can assure you that you're already on track. It's just to do 10 times. I said it earlier, whatever you are doing now, you can do 10 times of it, 10x of it actually. So just continue to build it gradually. In the next 6 months, 1 year, please volunteer, take internships, massively apply for opportunities. Don't apply for 1 or 2, apply for 20, apply for 30 actually. They'll say cast your bread upon many waters. Actually, spread it around. Share. This is the time to always put your CVs out. Always put your CVs out. Don't hide your CV. Update your CV to the current one. There's no way I get in the world I cannot give you my CV within 1 minute. There's no way actually in the world. If you want my CV, I can get it to you in max 2 minutes. Share, because it's always amazing. My Gmail is my Google Drive and all. And it's updated. Your LinkedIn profile, make it updated. Actually, build your track record. Let them see what you are doing. Like I always said, I'll just conclude on this. Don't forget to always bring your A game on board. Bring your A game on board. Let people know that actually you are doing a fantastic work. And then you can be doing something small. But yet it can be as if you are saving the whole world. And yet you can be doing something large. Maybe you had a very massive program. But because nobody can see it, there's no recommendation for it. It will be as if you're not doing anything. So please build yourself and then just keep scaling. And then in the next 1 year, you'll be surprised that actually you'll have gone way beyond that than what you expected. All right, don't worry. Thank you very much, and then thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Praise God. Thank you very much. Can we give him a round of applause? Can we appreciate him? Can we celebrate him, please? Let's keep it coming. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. We are intentional people, yes, and we know how to celebrate our people. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. That was really intentional, and I am definitely spurred by a lot of the things you have said. Thank you so much once again, sir.
Thank you so much. Praise God. So sorry to cut in. Okay. I didn't want him to giving my thanks. Thank you so much for this session. It was really impactful and really practical. Thank you for your time too. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the invite. Thank you, Dr. Bolo. Thank you, Dr. Ololade. Thank you.
All right, Lolade, you can have the floor.
All right. Yeah. So I see many of us are actually intentional about our growth, and I see that many are even involved in a lot of transformational things, which is very, very awesome. Very, very awesome. Yeah, and it's very important that we don't stay static, and to be able to do that for yourself, like Dr. Bolu mentioned initially in the start of this program, there will be a mentorship program afterwards, and we are even going to discuss it after I'm done speaking. She's going to come up and discuss it, because you have to just keep the growth going. You have to be consistent. Remember, the first speaker said it: consistency and commitment, diligence. And to be able to do that, you have to be in a community that aids this thing. And one of these communities, Lead Up Initiative. Gosh, you are in a community that is intentional about your growth. So I would definitely urge every one of us on this call to be a part of that mentorship program. It's going to consist of many of the things that we have learned now, and many more personal things that you want to gain after this call. So you definitely want to keep that in mind after this call. Yeah. So Dr. B, over to you, ma.
All right. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Can I hear our voices?
Hi,
Good
ma. Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
ma.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Thank you so much. How's it been for you? How's the session been? Let's take a few audible response, right? Then we move on to having it documented soon. So by raise of hand, can we have 3 people max just share their experience? What has been burning in your heart? Has it been, have you started saying, I think I need to make a change here. I think I need to work on my LinkedIn account. I think I need to do this. I think I need to do that. Okay, I can see Morans, and I can see Wigan. I can see Boluwatife. Any other person? Any other person? So you can just go one after the other, so there won't be interruption. All right, there's no other person. Okay. Muran, you can have the floor.
Okay. I really want to thank you for this session. It's a very productive one. For me personally, from the first speaker to the second, what I love the most is how they all give their personal experience from things they've gone through. The first speaker talked about the process she went through to arriving at the point she is right now. And for me, I've seen people who are successful that they only talk about the results, but they don't talk about the process. But she had to go down to how she was discouraged at the point, the process, the failure, and how she arrived at this point. And for me, that's an encouragement for me to see that we are all in the process. There's nobody that just arrive at the result just like that. Secondly, for me, the fact that um, Mr. Praise talked about how talked about track record also, and how that we should put our best outside. And for me, I feel like I have a personal core values, but then when you talked about it, I told myself, okay, should I now restrict my core values only to myself? Then I have to put out there, let everything I do represent the core values I have. So if my core values is vision, purpose, standard, impact, influence, everything I do should represent that to people. People should see that and be able to say, okay, this Imran, I'm sure this Imran because this represents his core values. And for me, that's what I want to keep doing consistently. That I put out my core values in everything I do, in my speaking, in reading books, in things I do. I think people should see my core values. I should put all my effort out there. And for me, that's one of the amazing things about this session. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Moran. Uluwatife.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon. So I want to say a big very thank you to you and everyone that have contributed in organizing this program. I actually joined very late, but even though I joined very late, I think as if when I joined it was like, okay, God just said just join at this particular time, and the word was actually eating me. They said think globally and act wisely. It gave the opportunities, and just that little word has really made me to just think beyond like the thought I've been having currently. I'm like, okay, he said that was talking about Tolemilolu, whereby he said it's a third class, and he said the application is not for third class. Like I see so many applications say, okay, within this age range, and sometimes my mind just say apply, even though your age is not up to this, still apply. I'll say, okay, they might not even pick me. It's kind of limiting myself. with that level. So I just want to say thank you, and that really changed my mindset from now on. I will not limit myself because of a particular things, but I will even go wider. So thank you so much, Ma, and thank you everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Oluwatife. Thank you so much, everyone. I'd really like to have your feedback, and I've dropped the feedback a testimonial form. Please, please, and please, can we fill it? As I'm speaking, you can just fill it. We'll be done in no time. And yes, so let me just speak about the mentorship and the lead 1 lead 5 projects, so that you would have an idea of what we are working on currently. Trying to share my screen, but I think I'm having some issues with that. Nonetheless, let's just cut to the chase. So yeah, we hosted the summit last year as a test run, and so that it was really effective and really impactful. And now we're also thinking, thinking local and acting global, right? Hosting the summit virtually was just a test of faith, because last year it was physical and everyone was excited to be around people, meeting new people. But for us now, having it virtually, I know we are lesser than the people that attended last year, but I saw a lot of people coming from different nations, and I'm like, okay, it means this knowledge is actively needed amongst a number of people, a couple of people residing at different places, different nations, and all. And we know that actively in the demography of the society, youths are like the largest number, right? And we need to be empowered, we need to be educated, we need to know how to do this. Not too long ago, I conducted series of interview for people that wanted to get into the organization I work in, and just by looking at I know that their CVs rather, I know that there is a lag in the society, there's a lag in knowledge. A lot of people don't even have good CV, people don't know how to fill in their CVs, people don't have knowledge. Let's talk about finance. Oh, okay. I know I went off for a while. Can you still hear me? Please confirm.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear you now.
hear you
Okay,
now.
okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be switching off my camera because the network is not so stable. Pardon me for that. And so, at the Lead Up Initiative, we've decided to take up this task of enabling and empowering young people. And just like we did last year, we had the mentorship up, where we hosted a series of peer-to-peer mentorship. We're educating one another on different critical topics, and it was themed the 360 leader because we wanted an all-round empowerment. So we spoke on different things, and this year we're also structuring it in a better light, and I'm enjoying you all to join in for the mentorship program. It's just going to be a short course, and later on escalate into the lead up community if you are interested afterwards. So I'll be sharing the link also. You also receive it in your emails. And yeah, so that's what the mentorship is about. I know it's just a form of hand holding for each and every one of us. A form of, okay, where are you? Where do you want to go to? What should we discuss about? How can we help? I know we spoke about business last year. Who was at the mentorship program last year? Anyone? I think I would like to get a testimonial from that. I think Bolu was actively a part. Bolu at fair, right?
Not actively, but I was, but not actively.
Where you were, yeah. Oladi, at least I know that Oladi was with us, right? You can give a feedback.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. About the 360 leadership, the mentorship program, the 360 leader. It was a 3 months program. Yes, a 3 months program, and it was very intensive. I remember us learning a lot. Yes, it was it was a whole journey of learning from different kind of resource. There was a video resource, there were book resource, of course, and there were interactive sessions. Yes, there were a lot of interactive sessions where we had to even test some of the things that we learned. We had to put them into use, speak out our minds, and all. Yeah, it was really really impactful for me and enlightening. Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma. Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your experience. So, everyone, you receive your mail. I'll also drop it here for you to join in the mentorship. Hello? Oh my God.
Yes, we can hear you,
Can you hear
ma.
me?
You can go ahead, ma.
I don't know if you can hear me. Hi? Hello?
I can hear you now. I can hear you,
Oh,
ma.
sorry. It's showing my network is lost and it's just so distracting. But nonetheless, okay, thank you so much. Oladi, I'll share what you should share in this chat um, through WhatsApp. So that because I can't see my chat.
Okay, so I think the network is not so stable. Yeah, the network is kind of poor actually. I'm even trying to sustain myself right here. And that is one of the things, that's one of the reasons why we should actually think globally and expand. Yeah, that's why we should expand and not limit ourselves now. So even if networks decide to do what they do, we will not be restrained. Yeah. So I think what she was trying to say is she would send a link. She would send the link to the mentorship program. She's going to send it to this call. I think some of us on this call are not on the onboarding page. So we are going to send the link to the onboarding page and to this call. Once I get the link, I would like everyone to register immediately. Yeah, let's register immediately. Change makers do not procrastinate. So once you get the link, click on it, fill in your details. There are details, your name, your email, your contact, where you stay, and your interest in joining the mentorship program. So it's as simple as that. Yeah, it's as simple. And it won't take 5 minutes. 5 minutes is even too much. Yeah. So once you get the link, we would like you to um register and submit. Yeah. Just register and submit. The link is going in now. The link is going in now. So once you see it, you don't need to leave the call. Just minimize and join in and just fill it in, and so we can start making those changes immediately, and we won't need to procrastinate and beg us. Yeah. So I'll be sending both the link for uh pardon me. I'll be sending the link for the lead 1 lead 5 program and the mentorship program. So once you join in, more details will be sent to you about the Lead 1, Lead 5 program. I'm sure many of us heard what Dr. Bolu said about the Lead 1, Lead 5 program. The mentorship has been spoken about where, okay, yeah, so the link has gone out. Click it and do the needful. All right, I think Dr. Bolu is back online. Dr. Bolu, are you with us, ma?
Hello, can you
Okay.
hear me? I'm back.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you
Yeah.
clearly. Yes.
I'm so sorry about that. The network. Yeah, I had spoken like I've spoken a lot and I didn't know you guys were not hearing me. Yeah, so I think I clarified on the mentorship and I was just speaking about the Lead 1, Lead 5 projects where we are going to be picking where you would apply to join in, and we're going to be picking specific sustainable development goal. Like you're going to be acting like real change maker. You're making a change. It will also have a leadership, a mentorship component, but majorly it's actually hands-on, it's actually action. It's not just the talk. We have talked the talk, now let's walk the walk, right? Everything Dr. Praise God said is practical, everything Elizabeth said is practical, and we want to put it into practice. And like I said earlier, the Lead 1, Lead 5 project is not for everyone. It's for selected few. So if you're interested, just apply and we'll get back to you. It's launching in a couple of weeks, and the mentorship is open to everyone because personal development is something everyone should grasp. And we know it's growth. There are phases to these things. When you recognize your season, you know that yes, it's time to actually take action and make change. There's a phase you are in that you know that, oh, it's myself that I'm working on now and I need to grow. And that's why we created these two projects in separate ways, right? So the links have been sent out. I can see Lolade drops it as an announcement on the WhatsApp community. So please, please, please sign up. And I'm also pleading, please share your testimonials. It will help people to attend the next summit. It will help people that were on the that signed up for this summit, registered for this summit and didn't attend, watch the replay and know what's up. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So my laptop just picked up.
So my laptop just.
Oh wow. Anyways, I think
Sorry about that.
we are now at the end of the program. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dr. B, are you still addressing us?
I think I would like to take a picture of everyone that attended this event. So if you don't mind, sharing, switching on your camera. Yeah, I think I can do that from my own hand. And we just have a picture. Okay. I can see leaders showing their faces, the faces of change makers. So okay, I'm taking the first towel. Now moving on to everyone. You might not all see yourself, sorry. But at least the first set of people that opened their that turned on their camera will see themselves. Okay, let's take it one more. Once more. Saving the last one. Sorry.
And when you're supposed to smile.
Ah, yes, now smile. Feel free to smile. Show your smile. Change makers. We have a heart of love. That's where it all starts from, right? You cannot say you want to change the world without loving the word. Yeah, so let's smile. Let's feel free to smile. All right, guys. taking that. So you get to see yourself. And please feel free to write about the summits. Feel free. We're active on Instagram right now. Our LinkedIn account is still in the settings. There are a lot of things to do on that account. But once we get on LinkedIn, we'll repost everything you put out there. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. I'll share the replay too, so you can go over and over again and learn these things. We hear things once, we learn when we hear them again, right? So, and to be honest, this is not just for only everyone that joined in, including myself, including I'm sure the speakers themselves, when they were working on those things, they were reevaluating. Oh, I know I can be better in this. I know I can also 10x this. And so it's for everyone. There's no one left behind. There's no one left behind. I would be so glad to see every one of you making change in any space you are in, either through agriculture, through any space you're in. And that's why I'm encouraging you to join the mentorship that will lead on to the community, because I want us to actively break this SDG. At least if we treat one SDG goal per month, we analyze how can you get into it, what can you do to get into it, get persons like Dr. Praise God and the likes that have actively worked on this thing, and invite them to tell us, oh, I have this idea on, let's say, agriculture. I have this idea um water resources. I have this idea on like specific things. How do I handle it? How do I handle workplace? How do I handle art and entertainment? Different spheres of influence like that. I want to be a change maker there. I am particularly interested in healthcare. I'm interested in youth development, and I'm actively following people that are doing that. So let's get on this together, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think I've spoken a lot. Over to Oladi as she closes out on the summit.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. V, for that introduction, for the introduction to the mentorship hub and the Lead One Lead Five program. Yeah, let's celebrate Dr. B for bringing this up. It's not little. Do you know the amount of work that has been done behind the doors, in the rooms? It is worth, and it is worth it. Yes, I can see many of us really, really learned a lot about this summit, and we've been enlightened. Yeah, we've been enlightened from the first speaker to the second speaker. We've learned a lot, and we are definitely getting ready to do the change, to be the change makers. So thank you so much for Dr. B for bringing up this wonderful summit again. And we hope to see another summit next year, SLS 2025. Yeah, I'm sure that will definitely be. Yeah, so thank you everybody for coming around. Oh my God, a lot of people from different places. I want you to do a shout out to yourself. You can do it in the chat box. You can unmute. Yeah, do a shout out to yourself. Your name and where you're from. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of being a change maker. Just say it. I'm a change maker. I'm a change maker. You can unmute and say it boldly.
I am a change maker.
Yes.
I am a change maker.
I am a change maker. Yeah.
Maker.
Awesome. Yes, we are all change makers, and we have taken the first step in doing this. And the next step is to keep at it, to keep going, to keep doing, to not relent, to make those visions come to life, and to not just keep them as visions on our vision board. We should see them before our eyes. So thank you so much to you guys for coming around from Rwanda, from Abuja, from Lagos, from Ibadan, from all around the world. Yeah, thank you so much for coming around. We celebrate you, and we really, really appreciate you. Yeah, so it's a wonderful time seeing you guys. It's been a wonderful session with everyone. And on this note, we would say goodbye and see you in the mentorship hub.
Yeah, see you in the chats, everyone. Thank you. Look out for our email coming in very soon. And yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you. We love you. We celebrate you. Bye.
All right, we can take our leaves now.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can unmute and wish. All right.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye.